Hello, today I am going to give every character in Marvel Rivals a costume if I had the choice, inspired by either the comics or the movies or maybe some games, just depending. And just because I think it'd be cool if I had the choice to give every character at least one costume. And so, let's get started. I'm just gonna go in alphabetical order just to make it easy on myself. So starting first, we're gonna talk about Adam Warlock. If I had to give Adam Warlock a costume, it would be Magik. Magik is like a future evil version of Adam Warlock, and I just think that's just a natural fit. It just works well. And people want more villains in Marvel Rivals, and technically, actually, Magik is a villain, so there's that. Next up is Black Panther. There is a design made by Christopher Priest, who really revamped Black Panther's design, kind of got Black Panther back on the radar of readers for Marvel. And I think it looks really good. There's like this like cape cowl vibe, and I don't know, he looks really cool. Not gonna lie though, silhouette wise, he does kind of look like Batman. Next up, Black Widow. So I think it'd be cool if Black Widow can have a costume that's really reminiscent to her really old school when she was more a villain kind of look. So like more of her spy look, I guess. I don't know, I just think it'd be really cool to have a costume inspired by that. Because if people didn't know, Black Widow was a villain before she became a superhero. So, alright, we have Cloak and Dagger. So Cloak and Dagger is a little hard to figure out when it comes to costumes because you have to think of things that come in pairs. Even though this is more of a palette swap situation, I do think when they were controlled by Mr. Negative, just like the palette swap color would look really cool. I don't know. So pretty much it'd be Dagger is in black, Cloak is in white, and whatever. I just think it'd look cool even though it is more palette swap. Alright, we have Captain America up next, Steve Rogers, and I want to give him his Hellfire Gala look. I personally just love the Hellfire Gala looks. It's gonna be a running theme in this list. And I don't know, I think this tuxedo suit, like pinstripe suit look just looks so good on him. And I think it's gonna be a really unique look for Captain America in the game because I feel like they're just gonna give him more of his like superhero suit, and I just want him to look really dapper. I just think he looks good. Next up is Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange was a little hard for me because I couldn't really figure out any good looks for him because I'm not gonna lie, I don't love a whole lot of his comic book looks. Like, they're not bad, but they all kind of generally look the same, whether design-wise or color-wise. But I do think his Midnight Suns look could be really cool because it gives him like this full outfit. He does wear a mask, which is not typically something Doctor Strange does, but I think it looks really cool, so I think it could be a really unique look for Doctor Strange. Alright, Groot was also really hard for me to figure out because there's not a whole lot of variation for the Flora Colossus. Like, there is very limited things. It's pretty much giant tree man with face. That's most of Groot's looks. However, I do think the way he looks, or the vibe of Grootfall, which was this thing that happened and he started eating planets, yep, that's a thing. So I think just like a general scheme of Grootfall would look really cool and gives Groot a little bit more of a menacing vibe. So this next one's gonna be a little hard because I want to see Hawkeye in his Ronin outfit. However, if they decide to make Ronin its own like separate character, because many people have been Ronin, it's not just Hawkeye, it's not just Clint, a lot of people have been Ronin, and so if they decide to make Ronin into like a separate character, then yeah, just like give Ronin his own vibe. But if not, then I would love to see Hawkeye as Ronin. So yeah, that's just my little explanation here. Next is Hela. Hela is also a little hard to figure out because she doesn't have a whole lot of variated looks. They all generally look relatively similar. And so I just think this more like hair down, like more like gown dress vibe would be unique and would be interesting for Hela. Yeah, that's all I got for her. We have Hulk next, and I think Hulk could be a really fun one. And I want to give him Joe Fixit, his Joe Fixit outfit. So Bruce Banner was pretty much a mobster at one point, and he was a Grey Hulk, and he went by Joe Fixit, and I just think this would be a really cool look for him. Alright, we have Invisible Woman next, and so Invisible Woman, they already did Malice, which was like probably Sue's like most extreme different look, and so I was like, alright, cool. So what can we give Invisible Woman? And this is something that's going to be a recurring theme when it comes to Fantastic Four, is that they generally only really have their Fantastic Four outfits, and that's about it. And other than like maybe like the offshoot of like Malice or the Maker, right, where they are more extreme looks. So pretty much I just had to dive into like, what Fantastic Four outfit do I like? So I ultimately decided on the World's Greatest Heroes look, and this is gonna be a safe pick, but also again, Sue hasn't really had any different looks other than like her really old school like 80s or like 70s look, where she was pretty much in like a Fantastic Four bikini as her superhero outfit, and I was like, you know, it's hot, but it's hot, but Next we have my boy Linle, or Iron Fist. I want him to have his casual outfit, which was seen in a comic, but also this design, or like the way it was just drawn by In-hyuk Lee, just looks so good. It looks so good. Iron Man was also a little difficult because his armor, his suits, all generally had the same vibe. So I was like, okay, what's one that kind of looks different? I do really like his Superior Iron Man look, but that's already in the game. And so I was like, okay, let me try to find another one. And I think Iron Destroyer would look really cool. Some people want Hulkbuster, but Hulkbuster's supposed to be huge, right? So if anything, Hulkbuster could be a variant for Hulk, oddly enough. But for Iron Man, I think Iron Destroyer is unique enough looking that it can work. So we have Jeff next, and Jeff doesn't have a whole lot of variated looks, but I do think if we put him in his little business suit, it'd be so adorable. He'd be so cute. What if the bubbles you shoot out are shaped like suitcases instead of bubbles? This next one was such a quick pick for me, and it's Loki as Lady Loki. Simple, easy. Would you need to redo lines to have more of a feminine voice? Maybe. But I just think Lady Loki would just be an amazing costume for Loki. That's all I have to say. So Luna is a really interesting anomaly, I want to say, in this situation, because Luna was created for Marvel Future Fight, which is a mobile gacha game. But then she got brought into the comics, and she does have like a superhero outfit, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, if I'm being totally honest. It doesn't look bad, but I'm like, doesn't really suit her vibe. So I'm going to suggest a Marvel Future Fight costume that I think would look good, and I think it's called like the Lifestyle outfit, and I just think it looks good. Like the long hair I think looks nice, the vibe, like the design of everything I think looks really cool. And I think it suits Luna better as a K-pop star versus her superhero outfit, which doesn't really portray Luna as a K-pop star. So I'm gonna go with this one. So Magik was also a really interesting character for me to look into for a costume, because as much as I love the Hellfire Gala looks, Magik's is one of the few that I'm just not the biggest fan of. It doesn't look bad by any means. Like out of the ones I don't like, Magik is probably like the top of like me liking it more than not liking it. So as much as I like Hellfire Gala, I have to give Magik's to her Phoenix 5 costume design. If you didn't know, the Phoenix Force kind of splintered and made 5 people its hosts, Magik's being one of them. And I think this outfit looks really cool. I think it looks really awesome. And then even when she turns into Darkchild, I think that could offer a really cool Phoenix Force design for her. We have Magneto next, and we have Hellfire Gala coming back. I love Magneto's Hellfire Gala outfit. If it wasn't for the fact that Season 1's Battle Pass gave us this House of M like regal like lord look, I would have chosen that. But because it's already in the game, I have to give this one to Hellfire Gala. Because Hellfire Gala just looks cool, and could you imagine if he used this as Kane in place of a sword? I think that'd be fun. I just realized while editing, I totally forgot about Mantis. I'm so sorry, Mantis. I really don't know what Mantis's looks could be, but I did find this like concept art of what Mantis was gonna kind of potentially look like in the movies, which I really like a lot, because Mantis's original designs are not the greatest in my humble opinion, because she was mostly made to be a fetish kind of character. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, this concept art, pretty good. Alright, Mr. Fantastic. It's gonna be really similar to Invisible Woman. Like, we already have the Maker as a skin in the game, which is, again, probably one of his more extreme different looks. And so I just have to give it to World's Greatest Heroes. I think the design for World's Greatest Heroes is just generally pretty good. Cool, we have Moon Knight. Moon Knight was also an interesting character to look into for a costume, because his looks are pretty much the same throughout the years. He has a similar vibe. We do have Mr. Knight already in the game, so I was like, okay, cool, that's already taken. So why not give him a Khonshu look? So he wears like the big Khonshu mask. I just think that'd be cool. Next up, Namor. Namor also has had really similar looks throughout the years, which isn't a bad thing. It's just kind of, you know, whatever. And so with Namor, I actually want to give him also the Phoenix 5 look. He was one of the hosts for the Phoenix Force. And I think his Phoenix 5 look actually looks really cool. Like, it's really unique compared to a lot of his other looks. We have Peni next, and I'm surprised this wasn't an alt costume for her, and it's her Spider-Verse look. Her Spider-Verse look is pretty much like the one that most people associate with Peni. Let's be real, not many people knew who Peni Parker was before Spider-Verse came out. And so I just think this look looks really cool. The mech could also work out, and it deviates away from the Evangelion vibes. We have Psylocke next. Now, the Psylocke in Marvel Rivals is Psy from Demon Days. I personally love that they went with Psy from Demon Days, because in the current continuity of Marvel, Psylocke is Quanon and not Betsy Braddock, because Betsy Braddock is now Captain Britain. And so it's a whole thing. But if I were to give Psylocke a look, they already kind of gave Psylocke like the classic comic book look, which was worn by Betsy Braddock / Quanon. So let's give Psylocke Hellfire Gala. I am sorry, I just love the Hellfire Gala outfit, and I love this look for her. She looks so good here. We have Punisher up next, and Punisher has also had like a multitude of looks throughout the years. And the one I think I like the most is the one designed by Greg Rucka. Homeboy looks like Solid Snake. Like, there's some really cool Solid Snake vibes from this, and I am here for it. Next up, we have Rocket. And now, Rocket has had different costumes throughout the years, which is great. But I think a look that would be super cool is his symbiote outfit, or his symbiote look. Now, Rocket was not the host of the Venom symbiote for very long. It was literally just for like a few seconds. But for the little bit of time it has a really cool design, and so I think his symbiote design would just look really cool. Alright, we have Scarlet Witch, we have Wanda next, and this one was really hard for me because while I do like a lot of her comic book looks, they all kind of culminate into a really similar vibe. Like the costume, like the default costume we have for Scarlet Witch right now already looks really good, and they added her Hellfire Gala outfit already. And while I would love to see her House of M gown, I'm not gonna lie, I really like the design for the Age of Ultron movie. It's more casual, and there's something, if you want to know anything about me, I love seeing any sort of like superheroes or fantastical things wearing very casual clothes, because we're so used to seeing them in like superhero outfits and stuff like that. So seeing them in something more normal just does something for me. And I just really like this look in Age of Ultron. I think it looks really cool. It's really unique looking for Scarlet Witch, because we haven't really seen her wearing anything like this like since. I don't know, I just really like this general outfit for Scarlet Witch. It just looks really cool. We have Spider-Man. Now Spider-Man has so many different looks, as well as many other Spider people that we could pull from, and I'm gonna do that. So I am going to pull from Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider look. This is for me very iconic. I grew up like in the age of when the Scarlet Spider, the whole like spider clone stuff was happening. I think this look is really nostalgic and is just really cool. And while Ben Reilly currently is not Scarlet Spider, I think this old school look just looks really good. And Ben Reilly is Peter Parker's clone. We have Squirrel Girl. Her look in Marvel Rivals has callbacks to a lot of her looks, but is wholly unique in itself. But I think if we give her kind of like her superhero outfit in the comics, just as a callback, that'd be great. Now, Star-Lord has had also a really good plethora of looks, but I think this like outlaw look looks really cool. This happened after the Groot fall situation, and he just looks really cool. I like this more like gunslinger cowboy look. We have Storm next, and surprise, surprise, we have Hellfire Gala coming back. I love Storm's Hellfire Gala outfit so much. Now, while there is a really super recent Storm look that I would also love to see in the game, I have such a soft spot for Hellfire Gala Storm. Like, she just looks so good. So good. I love this. I need this in the game. Okay, I also forgot about Thor. Good job, me. I think Thor's Unworthy outfit was really cool because it deviates away from a lot of Thor's classical looks that kind of have a similar vibe. So I think his Unworthy look looks really good. So That's all I have to say. If you watch my previous video of characters I would like to see, this was in my honorable mentions. But I want Agent Venom in the game, but because we already have Venom, and Agent Venom might make it confusing, even though it's a whole separate character that could do well with his own moveset, I doubt we will get Agent Venom. And so therefore, I'm going to pitch Agent Venom as a Venom costume, which breaks my heart personally, but I think it would work better in that way. And I just really like Agent Venom. Like Flash Thompson, again, personal favorite symbiote host, Venom symbiote host for me. This next one's going to be a little silly and people are probably going to hate it, and that is okay. And this one is for Winter Soldier or Bucky. I want him to have his really old school look, or at least a design inspired by his really old school look, where he is young and looks like he has not experienced the world yet. That's it. He was the sidekick of Captain America, and I don't know, I want this look. I just think it'd be fun. I think it'd be silly. Last and not least, we have Wolverine. Now, if you have been a fan of the X-Men, have been following Wolverine for many years, this is almost a guaranteed, like, must-have. This is the guaranteed must-have in any video game that Wolverine is in. And people might be like, oh, you're gonna go Hellfire Gauntlet. No, hell no. I'm going Weapon X. You cannot have Wolverine in a game and not give him his Weapon X look. It's just so iconic. It's incredibly iconic for Wolverine to have his Weapon X look in pretty much every video game he's ever in. And so I want Weapon X. And this one might just be obvious, right? It could be super obvious. I'm going to do a hopefully quick bonus segment of the characters that are supposedly leaked to be in Marvel Rivals. Now, we already know Human Torch and the Thing are going to be in the game. And so the outfits I would give them is hard. The Thing especially has not had a whole lot of variated looks, right? And so World's Greatest Heroes, cool. Human Torch, however, also doesn't have a whole lot of variated looks, but, and this is a spoiler, if you have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, this is a spoiler. But with Human Torch, I really like the whole like more apocalyptic cowl vibe that they gave Chris Evans. And so that could be a really cool costume for him. And that's really all I got for at least Human Torch. Now, there's a whole lot of characters on those leak lists that have not had a whole lot of variated looks because they're pretty deep cuts as characters, and or they're just so old or obscure that they haven't really had a whole lot. So, for example, Locust is a character that apparently might be in the game. She has not had a whole lot of variated looks. And she's also a deep cut as an X-Men villain, right? And so that's kind of a hard one to come up with. Same with Paste Pot Pete, who is also known as Trapster. He hasn't had a whole lot of varied looks either. Like, he's had some different costume changes, but eh. Jiajing, also known as Sprite. She is also so new, and when I say she's so new, she's not that recent of a character, but she hasn't done much since her inception. She hasn't done much since she was brought into the Marvel universe, right? And so, yeah, she also doesn't have a whole lot of variated looks, if I'm being totally honest. MODOK is a character that has been in the Marvel comics for a really long time, but he's also a really hard character to kind of figure out different like outfits or costumes for that aren't kind of just like different colors of him. So I don't know. Hitmonkey is also one of those characters that is kind of new-ish, but at the same time has been in the comics for a hot minute. And so he is also a character that's like, well, you don't have that many variated looks, so give him different tuxedo colors. I don't know. Then we talk about the characters that are on that leaked list that I would love to see different costumes for. First up is Emma Frost. Emma Frost has had so many different looks throughout the years. And again, Hellfire Gala coming in to save the day. Any Hellfire Gala look Emma is pulling off works. She looks good in pretty much everything. Like, the White Queen does not miss. The White Queen is so hot in everything she wears. And that's all I gotta say. Blade is fun because I want to see Wesley Snipes. Blade 100%. But I would also love to see his 70s look just because I think the retro look really fits Blade really well. And I just think it would be fun. Now, Ultron's a really weird one because Ultron's looks throughout the years have relatively been the same. Like, he's just this giant robot. I think the way he looked during the whole Phalanx stuff could be really cool. I think that's a really cool design. We have Jean Grey. Now, Jean Grey is fun because I love Jean Grey so much. And the thing is that I do not doubt that they're gonna give her her Phoenix outfit. But I think a really cool outfit for Jean Grey is if we give her her Black Queen outfit. Her Black Queen outfit is when she was kind of getting like brain washed, manipulated by Mastermind, and consequently became Dark Phoenix. But I think her Black Queen outfit would look really cool. I originally was going to say, hey, we might not get Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen, in the game. Let's give Jean Grey a Madeline Pryor look. But the Black Queen look is just way too good. Deadpool. Now, Deadpool is a character that has had many looks throughout the years. However, his custom designs are relatively just like different colors. I want to find something more different. And there's an outfit that the community has affectionately called Zen Pool. This is when Deadpool is just kind of being zen. I think this one would just be fun. Captain Marvel. Now, Carol has also had a lot of different looks throughout the years. I don't doubt that they'll give her her Ms. Marvel look or even her binary look. So I'm going to say this apocalyptic look that Carol has had, pretty cool. I like it. All right, we have Angela, and Angela is one of my favorite Marvel characters. And so I want to see her in Siri's wedding dress. Oh my God. She looks so good in this wedding dress. This is like my favorite look for Angela. That's it. I just love this look for Angela. She just looks so good. So, Professor X. Now, something I have to tell people is that Professor X in the comics in many, many recent years is not in a wheelchair anymore. But people only know him as the guy in the wheelchair. But in the game, I don't know. Maybe they'll put him in a wheelchair because that's just so iconic with him. But he can walk. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Professor X, I'm going to have to say Hellfire Gala look. I think this looks really cool. Yeah, that's it. Like, Hellfire Gala is just, again, so good. Cyclops. Now, this is where I'm deviating just a little bit because I am not giving Cyclops a Hellfire Gala look, even though I do think it looks really good. I more so just want to see Jim Lee's design with Cyclops, which is probably one of his more notorious looks because that's the anime series look. And I more specifically just want him to be wearing that leather jacket. Is it shallow? Yes. But is it iconic? Absolutely. I want Hellfire Gala Colossus. He just looks way too good. This is legitimately my must-have. I already know the 4 costumes I would love to give Colossus. Hellfire Gala being at the very top. Infernal being second. So that's my whole list of costumes I would give to every single character in Marvel Rivals, including the leaked ones. Let me know the ones that you guys would like to see. And yeah, have a good one.